Okay, so I did finally finish this one, and that's what it looks like. Just got the box there for a second to show what kit it was. It was the Lindberg Firebird Sportwagon, and this is the one that I picked to do Chevy Cheeseburger and DJ Scratchy 350's box stock build contest, and I picked this one on purpose because it was so simple. There's really not much to it. It's almost curbside, and it is a snap together. And I missed the deadline anyway. But I finished it now, and keeping with the theme, I kept it box stock. And so I'm finishing late, but I'm finishing it correct. Let me remove the box because it is blocking the light. And I'm using a new camera here. I'm not sure if I'm going to use this camera for this sort of thing because it's a big DSLR and it's a real big handful to hold. I've got a tripod, but it was just jerking around, and it looked it was hard to. I don't have a floating head on the tripod. But I'm going to explain a few things now. This is update 2, basically. The first update, if you remember, I had painted it gunmetal, which is that can right over there. And that was a really cool color. But in the process of trying to polish it out, I kind of discovered that it's actually not gloss paint. And the more I polished it, and it was kind of at the point of no return, I couldn't make it shiny, and I couldn't get it to look right again. So I ended up throwing the whole thing in the famous purple pond and stripped the whole thing again. And then I was trying to paint it again with the gunmetal, and it just wasn't working. I was doing flash coats. It didn't look right. It wasn't doing the right sheen the way I wanted it. And so, believe it or not, underneath this silver is 2 coats of gunmetal where I was repainting it. It wasn't looking right, and so at the last second I just grabbed the can of Testors silver and I sprayed it silver. And I like it, you know. The idea was to get a good contrast between that chrome breather there, the shaker, and the body. And I believe silver and chrome looks pretty good as well. And I'll just give you a quick tour around this car. And keeping box stock is, this could have been done quite a bit better. Keeping it box stock was the frustration, honestly. No offense, but keeping it box stock means I couldn't modify the parts that were the problem for me. Like, for example, I don't like to have side glass, and I couldn't cut that out if it was box stock. And honestly, what needed to happen on this one, since if you look under the hood here, let me see if I can do this. There's really nothing in there. Yeah, it's got a motor plug, and it's not going to hold itself up. Basically, just a one-piece engine that just glues on. This is really hard to do. I don't think I'll be using this camera. I mean, the image is really good. It should be much higher quality, but it's really hard to do. So basically, you got a one-piece molded engine bay and a one-piece molded engine. And what needed to be done on this kit, honestly, you needed to combine 2 kits. You needed to combine a regular 79 Trans Am or any of those years that has, the right chassis. Because I don't think the chassis is lengthened. I think it's a standard length. So honestly, you needed to use the entire chassis and engine from 79. This is 1/24th scale, and I'm going to have to look around and see if there are any 79-ish Trans Am kits in 1/24th scale, because that's what needs to be done. You need to build the whole chassis and the engine and snowflake wheels, and then put this body on it, and then maybe modify this body a bit. You know, curiously, in the searches, I needed to see what the front end was supposed to look like. Let me get in there. I was looking for pictures of the way the front end was supposed to look, and I just stumbled there was a picture there that I thought was this kit, but as it turns out, it was the real car. Now I ended up downloading a bunch of pictures because the real car really exists. It's called a camback Firebird, and there's also camback Camaro out there, and that's what the kit is based on. Well, who knew, you know? Oh, and by the way, okay, so I'll pause here, and I'm going to bring those pictures up. So as you can see, it was something to look at. It appears as though there was more than one, because if you see in these pictures, some of them have the standard Firebird back end with the station wagon back end, and some have that really unusual louvered back end. And I don't even know what the whole story is. Maybe there's two of them in real existence, or maybe they just have two versions, or they just changed the back end or something like that. But as you can see inside the opening glass window, it's set up just like a standard station wagon with those metal rails for sliding things on, which was common back there. And you can see that it was definitely fold down rear seats to make more room, just like old-fashioned station wagon. Now coming back to the kit, the glass does open. Let me see if I can. It's anyway, I don't know how I'm gonna get that little tiny. I can't get it. Oh, maybe just hang it upside down for a second. Start it open. There we go. Okay. So it does open. It kind of tries to come off the track. As you can see in there, now it came with these, you see here this scuba equipment plug. And I decided not to put that in there because that was going to block the cargo area. And all that was molded in. I just painted the rails with the silver pen to make it look good. And you can sort of see where the seats would fold down up there. It's all represented nice. And now what I would do if I was combining two kits, if I was combining a Trans Am kit with this body, I think I would try to change the back end, because it looks kind of neat, but I would prefer the regular Firebird back end that I hopefully I showed you in those pictures. Other than that, very basic kit. The underside is okay. It's represented alright. I didn't bother painting everything. Separate drive shaft and springs. These are plastic tires, molded in plastic, polystyrene, hard plastic, with the plastic axles running through there. And there's separate pieces for the control arms and everything. And it could be painted up to look fairly nice. But to build this car custom, that would all be the other kit, and the engine would be the other kit, and you would just use this body. And some snowflake wheels would be good too. because all the representations I saw on the pictures had snowflake wheels, not these turbo wheels. Oh, on the turbo wheels, I did a black wash on those, just in the one area, along the edge there, of course, where you can see it's black, and then I dabbed some in the middle by the lug nuts just to make it look, you know, not brand new. And the kit was okay. I've got a lot of scratches on the glass. You can probably see those. And that was just because of the way they did it. I think this kit is from 1980. And back then, when they packaged these things up, they would, no bags. You know, sometimes there would be a bag, but they would put it all in one bag. And so all the other parts would be rubbing on the glass. And this being 1980, this 33 years old, this kit. So all that time being shuffled around, the other parts all rubbing on the clear parts, screwed it all up. Now that can be polished out. In its present state, I didn't quite bother because I am actually planning to go back someday and redo this one, not box stock, and put a really cool paint job on it and combine it with another kit. So I'm gonna actually be looking around for around 1980 Firebird kits in 1/24 scale to see what I got. And obviously it needs a hood decal. Just really needs one of those really bad. And maybe, I don't know, maybe even the little emblems like behind the door, a little Firebird back there. You could really do a kit like this up. It's got a lot of potential. But as box stock, it's done. This is the way it's built, box stock. And this is where I'm stopping with it. And that will do it for this one. And that'll get it off the bench. I'm not rushing through it. I took my time with it, but it took too much time. And I must be honest, I'm happy to get it off the bench because I had no room for it. And since the only place to build it was right in the front, it took priority over everything. Now if I clear all this stuff out, I can get back to that 300ZX up there. I'll just give a quick peek. There we go. And so that's what I'm going to be getting back to. And we'll finish that up, because that's at about 95% done. And it's time to finish that. Let's start a trend of actually finishing these. And that will do it for this one. Appreciate your watching. 13 minutes. Sorry it went so long. Wasn't really watching. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Having a lot of fun. Actually got into the Google Plus Hangout. And thanks guys for helping me with the microphone. I was having big trouble, couldn't find the microphone. And the guys helped me and got that all working now, so I can just casually go into one of those rooms and not cause so much technical issues. But you know, that was a lot of fun. I'm going to definitely do that again. And be getting back to building here. And that'll do it. That'll do it for this camera too. This thing's like, feels like it's like 5 pounds. We can go back to the other one. I don't know, I'll see how the images are. But appreciate you watching, and we'll catch you later.